The movie begins by introducing us to the central characters, siblings Ronan and Beatrix. Ronan, portrayed as a dedicated boxer, contrasts with his sister Beatrix, a university student deeply immersed in academia. Despite their differing paths, they share a common thread of estrangement from their father, Alex. Their story unfolds on a day when both siblings, having been out of touch for an extended period, separately receive a cryptic message from Alex. In this unexpected message, he urges them to meet at a mysterious location, an abandoned building. Although hesitant due to their strained relationship with their absent father, the siblings are driven by a mix of curiosity and concern to head to the place. Their paths converge at Alex's house, where they unexpectedly encounter each other, only to discover their father's mysterious absence. A thorough search of the house yields no clues to his whereabouts. The plot thickens when Beatrix's friend Harry appears and joins their quest to uncover the truth behind their father's disappearance. The trio stumbles upon an intriguing clue: Alex's emergency bag harboring a peculiar spherical device whose purpose is unknown. As worry mounts, Ronan and Beatrix head to the local police station, seeking assistance in their search. Chief Stone, however, is skeptical, suggesting that Alex might have intentionally vanished and offers little help. The siblings then decide to explore the building mentioned in their father's message, despite the police chief's dismissive attitude and assertion that the building is abandoned. Upon arrival, they're greeted by mysterious graffiti, hinting at alternate timelines and histories, a foreboding sign of the extraordinary discoveries to come. Their exploration takes an unexpected turn when they are startled by thunderous noises and a violent shaking of the building, accompanied by flickering lights. Panicked, they attempt to flee, only to find themselves trapped within the building. After enduring a tense and bewildering time, they finally escape, only to be confronted with a shocking revelation. The building has transported them to an alternate Earth, a haunting landscape ravaged by nuclear devastation. As the narrative progresses, our protagonists find themselves in an increasingly precarious situation. In this unfamiliar and hostile world, they attempt to seek help from some pedestrians, only to be met with unexpected aggression and threats at gunpoint. This alarming encounter is abruptly interrupted by a roving patrol, which arrives on the scene and aggressively eliminates the threatening pedestrians. This sudden violence forces Ronan, Beatrix, and Harry to retreat back into the mysterious building from which they came. Harry, whose character is portrayed as intellectually curious and knowledgeable, speculates about their extraordinary situation. He theorizes that the building acts as a gateway to multiple versions of Earth, each distinct and separate. This theory aligns with the peculiar graffiti they had earlier noticed, which hinted at the existence of alternate realities. Within the confines of the building, they encounter Polly, a woman who introduces herself as a traveler between worlds. Polly confirms Harry's hypothesis, revealing that the building indeed transports its occupants to different versions of Earth every 36 hours. In this particular world, which she describes as hostile, Polly advises them to remain inside the building and avoid contact with the local inhabitants. With this overwhelming information, the group decides to rest, hoping to pass the time safely. However, their rest is short-lived as they are soon discovered and apprehended by the same armed patrol responsible for the earlier violence. The next scene shifts to a nearby settlement, where they come face to face with the leader of the armed group. In a surprising twist, this fearsome leader is revealed to be an alternate version of Officer Stone, whom they know from their own world. As the two groups interact, it becomes evident that Officer Stone and his patrol are unaware of the concept of alternate universes. Polly, recognizing the potential danger in revealing too much, concocts a story to protect their true origin, claiming they are merely confused travelers. However, the situation becomes more complicated when Harry inadvertently acknowledges their recognition of Officer Stone. Confused and suspicious, Stone, who was a police officer before this version of Earth was devastated by nuclear warfare, concludes that they must be spies from a rival gang and takes them as hostages. Tinker, a local surgeon and somewhat of a scientist, is tasked with interrogating them. As Beatrix and Ronan are chosen for interrogation, a personal moment unfolds between the siblings. Beatrix confronts Ronan about his past actions, accusing him of abandoning her following their mother's death. This emotional exchange reveals Ronan's deep-seated guilt. He confesses that he distanced himself from the family, believing that he always causes harm to those he loves. This introspective revelation adds an emotional layer to their already complex and challenging journey in this alternate reality. Soon after, Tinker enters the scene. Engaging in conversation with Ronan and Beatrix, he reveals his awareness of the existence of alternate universes. Tinker shares the tragic history of their current world, once a thriving place, now a shadow of its former self due to a catastrophic series of events. He explains that following the collapse of the Republic of Pakistan, nuclear weapons, alarmingly compact and easily transportable, flooded the black markets. These devastating weapons soon fell into dangerous hands, leading to widespread destruction. The plot takes a shocking turn when Tinker discloses that the individual responsible for introducing nuclear terror to their city emerged from the very building they are investigating. He presents them with footage of the nuclear attack, and in a startling revelation, the perpetrator is identified as none other than Ronan and Beatrix's father, Alex. This revelation casts a dark shadow over the siblings, who are horrified to learn of their father's role in this world's apocalypse. As the siblings grapple with this harrowing revelation, Tinker's manner shifts from informative to threatening. Convinced that they hold the key to locating their father, he demands answers. Beatrix, in a state of shock and disbelief, insists that they have no knowledge of Alex's whereabouts, but Tinker is unwilling to accept this. In a critical moment, Ronan seizes an opportunity when Tinker is momentarily distracted, subduing him and freeing both himself and his sister from their restraints. However, the danger escalates when Tinker, driven by a desire for vengeance and desperation, activates his own suitcase bomb, intent on a devastating suicide attack. Ronan, acting swiftly, neutralizes Tinker with a decisive punch. With no time to lose, the siblings, along with their friends, make a daring escape in a vehicle belonging to their captors. As they race against time, Officer Stone, now aware of the impending explosion, confronts Tinker and orders him to deactivate the bomb. Defiant and resolute in his destructive plan, Tinker refuses, revealing his intention to destroy the building. He coldly advises his friends to flee in the opposite direction for their own safety. With their getaway vehicle suddenly running out of fuel, the group is forced to continue on foot, a race against time and fate. They finally reach the safety of the building, but the threat is far from over. Tinker, relentless in his mission, arrives outside with the bomb. In a nail-biting climax, the building activates its mysterious power just in time, transporting the group to a new world and narrowly escaping the nuclear detonation. The captivating journey takes the protagonists to a new world, one that is strikingly different from their own. This world is characterized by its advanced technology, which leads the group to initially believe they might have traveled to the future. However, Polly, with her knowledge of interdimensional travel, clarifies that they are simply in an alternate version of Earth existing concurrently with their own. Intrigued and eager to explore this new environment, they decide to split up to gather more information. Unbeknownst to them, Tinker has also made his way into this alternate world. As they venture out, Harry discovers a unique aspect of this society. Transactions are conducted through fingerprint scans. In a twist of fate, Harry's fingerprint reveals that his counterpart in this world is a wealthy, corrupt corporate lawyer, a stark contrast to his own persona. Meanwhile, Tinker, capitalizing on his unexpected fortune in this world, acquires various gadgets and immerses himself in an unknown project. In this world, he too holds a position of wealth and influence. Harry and Beatrix undertake a mission to infiltrate the apartment of this world's Harry. There, they hack into his computer, uncovering startling information. They learn that in this alternate reality, their father Alex met an untimely death in an accident at the very building they are investigating. Simultaneously, Ronan and Polly explore what would have been Alex's house in their world, finding it abandoned. Ronan shows Polly the mysterious device they found earlier, which she immediately recognizes. She reveals its origin, the core world, a place where the building was originally constructed. Amidst these discoveries, Ronan confides in Polly about his past, marked by a quick temper and frequent altercations. He delves into the heart-wrenching story of his mother's death, for which he harbors deep-seated guilt. He recounts a fateful day when, during a confrontation with a truck driver on the highway, his mother intervened, only to be tragically struck by a speeding vehicle. This event shattered their family, leaving Ronan burdened with remorse and self-blame. This somber reflection is interrupted when Ronan, accompanied by Polly, makes a significant discovery. Investigating his father's car, they uncover a bag containing an urgent message directed at Ronan, instructing him to flee the house immediately. This discovery is swiftly followed by a tense moment when a car arrives and 3 menacing assassins step out, demanding Alex's presence. With no response from inside, the assailants force their way into the house. However, Ronan and Polly are quick to react. In a bid for escape and safety, Ronan and Polly seize the opportunity to take the assailant's car and flee the scene. Meanwhile, Harry faces a moral dilemma upon learning about the dark and unethical actions of his counterpart in this world. Determined to set things right, he compiles incriminating evidence against his other self and sends it to the media, exposing the evil deeds of his alternate persona. The plot thickens as Tinker, immersed in his own agenda, completes work on a sophisticated device capable of controlling the city's power system. Intent on his mission, he returns to the mysterious building with his invention. His arrival coincides with Ronan and Polly's, setting the stage for a confrontation. Tinker, convinced that the building's caretaker is concealed nearby, plans to use his device to force the caretaker out of hiding. The tension escalates when Harry and Beatrix arrive at the scene. Beatrix, fueled by anger and desperation, threatens Tinker's life. However, Ronan intervenes, persuading her to stand down as he too seeks answers to the many questions that plague them. With the group's reluctant consent, Tinker activates his device, triggering a violent shaking of the building. As the situation reaches a critical point, with Tinker threatening to destroy the building, a surprising figure emerges from the elevator. It is Alex, the man at the center of the unfolding mystery. He acknowledges Tinker's ingenuity in interfacing with the building and guides him to the top floor, hinting that the answers they seek lie there. The plot progresses with surprising revelations and intense emotional exchanges. After Tinker departs, Alex, the father of Ronan and Beatrix, unveils a staggering truth that reshapes their understanding of their origins. He reveals that he and their mother were not native to the world they had always known as home. This revelation shocks Ronan and Beatrix, shaking the foundation of their perceived reality. Alex then gives a crucial mission to his children, to find their mother, who he claims is the key to returning to their world. The mysterious ball-shaped device they discovered earlier is pivotal in this quest, serving as a tool to locate her. Alex explains that the building, a train of countless worlds, has been operational for an immeasurable length of time. Its original creators and purpose have been lost to history. Contrary to what they believed, Alex clarifies that he is not the caretaker of this mysterious structure, but rather a fellow traveler in search of answers, much like them. The narrative takes a sudden, dramatic turn when Tinker reappears, furiously confronting Alex for his deception. However, before Tinker can fully express his outrage, Alex responds with lethal force, ending Tinker's life abruptly. Despite pleas from his children to stay, Alex departs from the building, leaving them to grapple with the aftermath and their newfound knowledge. As the building initiates another transport, Ronan, Beatrix, and Harry step out to explore this latest world. Polly, however, remains behind, seemingly awaiting someone. In a surprising twist, two additional versions of Polly, who had been concealed within the building, emerge. The movie reaches its climax with the three Pollys engaging in a game of rock, paper, scissors. This seemingly simple game is charged with significance, as it will determine which Polly will join the group on their continued journey through these parallel worlds.